Welcome back, everyone. I am Peyton, indie author and literary troublemaker.
And I'm Mel, an unapologetic fan of horror, smut, and anything that combines the two. Every week, we take turns convincing each other to read a different book.
And asking the question that haunts every reader's TBR list. What the fuck were we thinking? All right, welcome back.
Welcome back, welcome back. How are we doing this week?
Oh, we're doing good. Sorry, I'm trying
Yeah,
to
that's.
put a little calcifer up on the shelf so you guys can see him.
Oh, I love Calcifer. That is my. Howl's Moving Castle is actually my favorite Ghibli movie.
Mine too.
Um,
I love calcifer.
I'm gonna have to see if I can find it. I may have sent it to like Blake or someone, but there was someone who did um an Instagram reel that was what your favorite Ghibli movie says about you.
You have to send it to me.
I'm gonna have to see if I can find it
Yeah.
because Howl's Moving Castle, it's mine, and they hit the nail
Fine.
on the head. It
Yeah.
was disgustingly accurate.
I'm glad that you said this because it is one of my favorite books. And not many
I
people read the book.
always forget that it's a book. It's definitely a book that I want to read,
Well, don't worry,
but
because it's on my list to go over. So I will
okay.
convince you to read House Moon Castle, especially considering that there's a lot of information that would definitely make you change your mind. Like the sisters are actually a big plot point.
Interesting.
Yeah, and not to give too much away, but little Marco,
Hmm.
this big boy Marco,
Oh,
he's very cute and attractive. I think he's like
okay.
18, 19, something like that. So they, because they wanted a kids movie, they had to like make him a kid. Um,
Interesting.
so he actually has a much bigger part too. So
I think I'm gonna like adult
yeah,
Howl's Moving Castle.
I think you will too. It's definitely more adult. I like it a lot. I've read through it 3 times before, so,
Okay.
so but that is not the book we're talking about this week. We are talking about Lights Out. Speaking of big boy books.
I am so excited for you to talk about this book because it's been sitting on my bookshelf for months. Um, and I'm hesitant. I'm a little nervous about this one, which is weird since I've read Haunting Adeline.
Right.
Um,
Well, I didn't even finish Haunting Adeline, but I could not put this book down. And I will definitely talk about like I'll compare those two for sure. So,
okay,
yeah. Um, but I think you're gonna like I think you're gonna like it better. Because you're a
really.
lot like I am. And so like and I definitely bring up like why I didn't finish Haunting Adeline. I'm going to. But why I had to stop. And then what made me not stop at this one. But this is by Navessa Allen. I hope I said that right, Navessa. Um, so before I get started, I'm gonna say this. I brought you something this week that isn't just romance.
Okay,
It's not even just dark romance. It's raw, it's emotional, and it's really jagged in a lot of places. It
interesting.
kind of, if you're down for the journey, it's really about healing.
Okay,
So if you're down for that, then we're good. I walked into this book completely blind, and I started telling the story to you about this last week, and I was like, don't ever forget to say it again this week. But I actually kept seeing Lights Out pop up on my TikTok.
yeah,
Had no idea what it was about, but I knew I was a big Mass Talk and Bike Talk fan, in which, let's face it, I'm calling you out. We send each other videos. So
it's casual.
yeah, it's just casual sending each other videos like, oh, do you follow this guy? Because he's
The
fun.
thirst traps,
It is the
man.
ships. But, and it's funny too, because it's like, I would have never in a million years thought that would be something interesting to look at on TikTok. But Tom used to be a biker. Like he used to be one of those bike boys. before I came around. Tom's my husband. So I kind of missed that stage with him, which I'm really sad
Hmm.
about. But
Yeah.
I grew up as like I was one of the Scream kids. So
Okay.
I guess I'm kind of used to Mask and not really realizing it. I don't know.
I I was not. Um, I like psychological, like ghost thrillers, which
Yeah.
Haunting Adeline has a lot of.
Yeah.
Scream freaked me out.
Really?
Yeah, I liked it. I got through it. The first time, and it doesn't help. So the first time I watched Scream, we get to the end of the movie, the credits are rolling. It's the evening before Halloween. My mom's pre-prepping food for this big Halloween party she's throwing. And so they moved the TV into the dining room on the dining room table, and I'm sitting there like making little egg rolls. And my dad comes up to the sliding glass door with a scream mask on and a giant butcher's knife and starts tapping
No.
on the glass. And I turn and I screamed.
Of course.
Um, so I, but I've never been a big fan of scary movies and thrillers. So I was also seeing this all over my social media pages, and I didn't think it was going to be something I was interested in.
Hmm.
I eventually caved with Haunting Adeline, and then that's when Lights Out started coming up on my feed,
Yeah.
and I was like, really, guys, like this is the hole that I'm almost 30. This is the hole you're gonna drag me down. This is
Right.
what I get. This is the house I'm sorted into is
Yeah.
this.
I mean, okay, so I will say, do you know how Lights Out came about?
No.
Okay, I think I read it in this book actually. Um, Maybe not. I feel like it was in a forward or something, but apparently it's gonna drive me crazy now. Okay. Um, Come at me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I read somewhere that she said that this was her commenting on a thirst trap and was like, hear me out, this is a love story. And it should be a book, and like I guess she like added more comments to it or something. But said people went crazy for it. And so
Hmm.
she just broke down and wrote the book. And I, of course, didn't know anything about that. And I had posted on TikTok, like, hey, should I go pick up this book? And I had an overwhelming large amount of comments that were like, yes. And then so I went and got the book. Um, and then I came back and looked at my comments, and everyone was like, but you have to read the audio with it. And I'm like, read the audio with the book. That sounds so dumb. But I did it. Some of the parts I did it, or some of the parts I would even just read and then be like, okay, what's the audio sound like? So the guys that did the audio were fantastic. So if you're into audio,
Yeah.
you can skip reading it. You can do the audio. And it's also just like really fun because like the main character, Josh, is like very sarcastic and he uses humor as an escape. And so like his inner dialogue is really hilarious. So it's fun to like hear someone read through it the way that a guy would think it, you know. But
That's interesting.
yeah, it's really fun. Like Allie's the female character. And I'll go over this a little bit more, but she has some inner dialogue that's pretty interesting too. But Josh is just hilarious. But
Okay.
he's like one of those people that like you have no idea he's hilarious until like you hear his inner dialogue, and then you're like, oh, okay, okay. All right, I'm getting ahead of myself though. Before we even start talking characters, I've got to share my screen because you need to see the trigger warnings.
Sweet. I love a good trigger warnings list.
And this one is freaking long. Um,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Um, It's long, and some of this are like, wait, what are we talking about? So, sexually explicit discussions and scenes, including anal play, and there's
Okay.
quite a bit of that actually. Alcohol consumption, mention of off-page rape, mention of past domestic abuse, memories of experienced child abuse, medical content. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, that was a little intense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because she's a ER nurse.
Got it. So
Um,
like Butcher and Blackbird intense, maybe?
well, I've not read it yet. I think it's
Okay.
probably at that level.
Okay.
Like
I'll find out.
thinking about the stuff, yeah, thinking about the stuff that you said, like, yeah, it sounds like it might be at that level. Mental health, mentions of serial killers and their crimes, limited description of mass shootings, stalking, invasion of privacy, home invasion, hidden cameras, hacking, theft, mention of unintentional cannibalism. So we got cannibalism there, right there,
All
Black.
right.
Desecration of a body, car accidents, description of violent death, death of a parent, breath play, knife play, gun play, fear play, primal play, and mask play. Which I feel like the cover gives you away on the mask play.
Yeah, well, I'd really hope that the cover would tell you about mask play. And if you've seen this book at all on social media, like I haven't read it, but I know of some of the knife play scenes through social media. It's definitely intense, and
It's very
I'm
intense.
surprised that this trigger warnings list isn't longer.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I agree. Um, I feel like I feel like just labeling breath play, knife play, gun play, fear play, primal play, mask play, um, doesn't do it justice. Like I feel like if I'm going in knowing oh there's fear play, um, I'm gonna think one thing and then go in and be like, no, this was completely different. So I feel like some of these could be broken down more. And I guarantee you could probably find someone that has read it that breaks down these for lack of a better word, kinks
Yeah.
um for you better, especially going in with the knife play. That definitely I feel like needs to be described a little bit better. Um,
Yeah. And when we do Haunting Adeline, that'll have honestly a list of pretty similar trigger warnings.
yes,
Um, so,
it does. Yeah.
just keep that in mind. This is not safe for work,
No,
guys.
no. Not at all. It is not something um that should be taken lightly either. Although it is a book and it is fun to read fantasy, we'll talk about that definitely later. But it can be intense. And like I said, like I'm not coming to you with a romance or even a dark romance. I'm coming to you with almost like a healing kind of book or, you know, it definitely pulls up some triggers for anybody. Um,
Yeah.
so talking about those trigger warnings, Alan doesn't shy away with heavy themes. These are taken directly from the author's post, and the content warnings. So be mindful of that. And like I said, I almost feel like she needs to dig in deeper. But I know as an author, it's become more common, but there was a long time there where authors were very hesitant about putting trigger warnings at the front of their books. Um, and
Probably scares people away.
yeah, that was their arguments. Like it could scare someone away, or I think the biggest argument was it gives away too much of the book. And
Mm.
and like a lot of people were like, well, no, it doesn't give away the books too much. Like that gave away nothing. You know what kind of theme you're going in for, but just labeling it dark fantasy gives you the
Um,
theme.
yeah, as a reader, sometimes I pick up and read or buy a book because of the trigger warnings, which is
Yeah.
probably very counterintuitive. Speaking of mental health, but like I I appreciate that because then like
Uh,
it's consent obviously is a huge topic, right? But like
Mhm.
when I'm reading a book, I want to know what I'm reading about so that I can consent to reading that material, right? And
Right.
so, like, if you think about the whole trope consent is sexy, that applies to literature, that applies to video games, it applies to all media.
Yeah.
Um, because I want to know what I'm reading. I don't want to go into a book and be 10 chapters in really enjoying it, and then all of a sudden this really crazy scene comes out of nowhere.
So doing, um, I completely agree with you. Sorry. Neurodivergent, my brain skips ahead 3 steps all the time. I apologize for that. But yes, I completely agree with you. And along those lines, I find that my trigger warnings, um, as a reader or a consumer in any form of media, um, has become vital to me because take my crime podcast that I love so much. We're both into it. But there is a list of things that I will not listen about or watch Dateline about, or I'll skip that podcast if they cover it. And a lot of podcasters like won't even like cover, they're like, I'm not gonna cover any kids, I'm not gonna cover any rapes, I'm not gonna cover, anything along those lines. And it's good because then they always give those trigger warnings, and like I'm not gonna there's certain ones I'm not gonna fall in love with and I'm not gonna listen to
Yeah.
for that very reason. Like, so trigger warnings are important, and I'm glad that authors have started like taking that more serious, because I feel like because of it, it not only gives a safety to the readers, but it gives a safe space for finding your people.
Oh, 100%. It does. And I apologize. I said let there be light, so you guys can see me now. Um,
You're in the dark.
yeah. No, the when we start, every time we start filming, the
The
sun's
sun's
coming right
out.
in this
Yeah.
window. Um, but I don't know. I'm excited about the fact that trigger warnings are becoming more and more common. I think that's
Mhm.
great. I am also really excited to learn more about the trigger warnings in Lights Out specifically. I'm ready for the meaty stuff.
Okay. All right. So imagine a love story where neither person feels like they deserve to be loved at all. All
Hmm.
right. Or the tension is thicker than the plot. The characters are messed up a lot, but they're trying really hard to function as a functional human being and to allow themselves to be loved. So
Okay.
that's kind of where we're at. That's our headspace. Um, it does a lot with grief and grace, and it's about vulnerability, and it's about letting someone see the worst part of you and not running when they do see it, or not being surprised that they don't think that you're broken because of it. Um, and I think that's a
Okay.
lot of times us as human beings kind of get in that headset of, if I'm vulnerable to someone about this particular thing, they're just going to assume I'm broken.
100%. Yeah. That's a huge thing these days.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, that's why I don't have a lot of friends, because it's like, you know, here I am. I'm crazy. What can I do? What devoured me emotionally about Lights Out was how fast it focused on healing. And
Hmm.
not the pretty kind of healing with spa days and sunshine. It's the ugly kind, like the kind where you're crying in the shower or lashing out and then regretting it, or walking away because you're too terrified of being truly seen. It's about grief wrapped up in love, about what it means to be safe with someone and how terrifying it can feel when you never have been and you realize that you've never been safe before, because then you're triggering that healing that
Yeah.
you didn't know you even needed.
Okay. So this is like that jaggedness that you were talking about
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah. I walked into this thinking I was just gonna get like a fun read, like my werewolf book is supposed to just be a fun read, you know.
Yeah.
Then I wound up going, oh, this is like some really raw people. So let's talk about it. We got Josh. Josh is not your typical guy. He is rough around the edges for sure. Hell, he has like one friend.
Okay.
His whole life, one friend. Um, and he's angry all the time. He's defensive. He doesn't say what he means, and when he does, it's often at the worst possible moment. It's almost like a word vomit because of stress.
Yep, sounds like me.
Me too. Me too. But he has a reason to be, and I'm gonna be frank and honest. Like this could be a spoiler warning, but I don't think it is because it really does start off the book like this. Um, I honestly think he adjusted very, very well, and you're hopefully you agree with me when I tell you this, but um, fate fucked him up. His dad was a serial killer.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And we're talking about like Ted Bundy kind of serial killer, like the one serial killer that would kill people and feed the bodies to people. And
Oh, is this the cannibalism that you
yeah,
mentioned?
yeah,
Yeah.
he has flashbacks of his dad at one point was trying to hide a body and thought, hey, let's have a neighborhood girl out. And so Josh is a
Oh
vegan
fuck.
now. Yeah, he's vegetarian or vegan, I can't remember, but I think he's vegetarian. Um
Yeah, bro. So would I. I would also
yeah,
be fucking vegetarian after that.
I know. And his best friend, his roommate and his best friend, was there for it because it was when they were kids. And Allie asked his friend, was like, how do you still eat meat? And he was like, well, I ate hot dogs that day. I didn't eat the hamburgers and the other food. So like his best friend just happened to miss it. But I literally was like, that wouldn't have stopped me. I still would have been vegetarian. You smelt that food, you like saw people eating it. Now you know what the dad did. So, but his best friend's been
Fucking
with him since they were little kids and was with him when the dad got caught and had to go through the healing with Josh and had didn't leave or abandon Josh. So Josh has faith in humanity because of one person and because of his mom and his stepdad, and that's it.
that's better than nothing. We'll take
That's
a little
better
bit of
than,
faith in
listen,
humanity than
yeah,
full on pessimism.
yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. Hold on to any thread you can hold on to. Um, and so if those are your only threads to humanity, hold on to them. But he, because of what happened, and he looks just like his dad, or at least he's
Oh,
convinced that he looks just like his dad. At the height of his dad's like murder rage, where he was getting all the girls, because he apparently was a very good-looking man, and so women were very trustworthy of him, and so that's how he lured all his victims in because of how he looked. So Josh really kind of he never looks at himself. He hates the way he looks. He's always trying to hide his face. He works out at night, like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, so everyone else is like asleep and he has the gym to himself. Like he's a recluse. He's a hacker. Um,
okay.
so he works from home at all points, and you get this really good concept of this guy as like a hacker. And I thought it was hilarious when I was reading this. He just briefly mentions for a couple of seconds like how he became a hacker. And he just saw a company he wanted to work for, hacked into their system, and then contacted them and was like, hey, I hacked into your system. Just pay me to protect it so that no one else will do this. And this will be my job. And I'll make sure that your system's secure. But that's what I did, which is actually very common.
Yeah, yeah, we I've definitely seen stuff like that online.
Yeah.
We watch there's a hacking channel that we watch sometimes where the guy will reverse hack scammers.
Oh, okay.
Um, I don't remember what it's called. Maybe somebody will drop it in the comments. But yeah, so that's one of the things that he talks about is that sometimes scammers will hack into businesses
Mhm.
and then send them like fake business proposals like, "Oh, we hacked in, we'll protect and then they get more access and then businesses get scammed
Yeah.
or individuals get scammed.
Um, Tom's company is a very small company. They're but that's what they do. They don't hack people, but they work to up security for stuff like that. And then they got hacked a couple years into it, or they at least attempted to. And what they did was they proposed themselves as Tom and like did his like I don't know, basically just copied his email and like was like, "Hey, I need to change like my bank information." And obviously our um accountant knew it immediately because the
Yeah.
company is so small. There's like six of them. So they're all like best friends. And he was like, Tom, this clearly isn't you. And Tom's like, no, of course it's not me. And so they all devised a joke to send back to the hackers, which they did. So Brandon like emailed them and was like, okay, well, I'm gonna need your security photo of your feet for proof that you want to do this. We got to go through our security codes. And like they didn't hear anything back. But now the joke is always like, all right, send me feet pics.
That's amazing.
And like they
I
still get hacked
love
from time to
that.
time. Yeah, so they still try to get scammed from time to time and like their joke is and it's been very consistent and has worked very, very well. Okay, send
That's
me
a really unique security policy. I'm here for it.
right. And like I don't know, Tom's got like this one freckle in between two of his toes. So like, yeah, that would actually work. Think about
That's
it.
a pretty secure policy. These people would need to find pictures of Tom's feet in order to successfully.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Oh, that's quality. Someday somebody's gonna try.
Yes, I can't wait. I can't wait to tell you when that happens too. Because again, they're all best friends. So like Brandon just called and was like, why the fuck would you send me this email anyways? Like you would just call me.
Right. Oh man.
Small companies. All right. So Josh like is a hacker. Um, where am I at? Okay. So here's the thing. He has this like exterior of tough. He doesn't talk to women. He doesn't attempt anything. He will not communicate with anyone except for his best friend. And but he's really just a big puppy.
Okay.
He's hurt. Deeply historically, systematically hurt. The kind of hurt that teaches you that love is conditional. Like
Mhm.
everything that his dad did was all about getting that conditional love. Like, I love you, but you gotta do this for me. Um, and it's about being dangerous. And the idea of needing someone or wanting someone in your life leads to being left because he's too much. He's too much. He doesn't tell anybody about his life and his family. Um and his it's so crazy that even his best friend vets all the girls he's with
Oh,
if they're into crime.
weird.
Yeah, like he like his best friend slash roommate will not even date someone that is into crime that could possibly know about the dad. So, he doesn't really know how to be romantic and gentle or anything like that, and he's terrified to be like that. But again, it's like a puppy that's been like abused. Like he just wants to be loved. And he's
Yeah.
got so much love to give, but he just has been abused so much he can't do it. Um, and he tries so hard throughout the whole book to do that. So it's really frustrating and it's really beautiful to see like how he learns with how he learns that he's not broken, even though he feels like he's broken. And I love the fact being that it's not because of Allie that he gets this way, but it's about the journey to teach Allie that she's not broken, that he realizes he's not broken either. So,
Oh, so it's almost like a self-realization.
yes. And I have always said that. Like, when you find true love, you don't change because of that person. You change because you want to be the best version of yourself. because you realize how much they deserve to be loved and how much you love them. And then you realize, well, if they deserve it, I deserve it too. And I need to love myself. And so that's a part of your healing. And when you find true love and you find that safety and security,
It
it'll
feels
always
good.
just naturally, yeah, yeah, it'll always just naturally happen. So, all right, so that's Josh. That is one half of our thing. But then we've got Allie. And like I said, Allie's not there to fix Josh. That's what makes it so powerful. She's fucked up in her own way. Um, she's been through hell. She's learned how to create a safety for herself, emotional boundaries, space, stillness. She doesn't want any chaos anymore. She wants peace, and she's actually earned the right to do that. Um, Allie is a ER nurse in like a
Okay.
very rough city. Um, so she is surrounded by, let's get rid of these. She is surrounded constantly by death, by rape victims, abuse. She sees nothing but hell every single day. And and a lot of times like days on end. Like she'll
Yeah.
work 48-hour shifts, she'll come home, she'll drink to kind of make herself sleepy and then she'll pass out.
Jeez.
But I mean that's how she's done it. It's such a high traffic city and she loves what she does and she's good with what she does. But because of her schedule and the things that she sees, she just kind of stopped trying to connect with people outside of work. She doesn't have the
Okay.
patience to, because if people don't like really see, I mean, she's a very nice person, but if people are like too self-absorbed to see that people are hurting around her, she's done. Like
Yeah.
she can see it. She's trained to see it. Um, but you know, that's just kind of how she is. She's just like, whatever. And so she just kind of focuses on herself. So she is not an emotional support fairy for a wounded man.
Good. We are sick of that shit.
Very sick of it, Feyre. Um, she is a woman who's done a lot of work though. She's done a lot of work mentally with herself to
Hmm.
try to keep in check. She lost her family in a tragic car accident, so she's alone.
Okay.
I'm not going to give away too much of the plot, but I will tell you how much the two of them they meet up um in a very unusual way, and I will tell you that if you're cool with that.
Hit me with it.
Okay. Um, so obviously Josh being a recluse and hating his face, um, book talk and mouse talk and bike talk and all of that stuff is very interesting for him. So he designs his own mask and creates his own account as a mask talker. So, and he actually is really good at it, very attractive, knows how to do the angles, has all the great technology, obviously, because he's a hacker,
Hmm.
and he has nothing else to do during the day. He has a whole house to himself. And so he has an account, and Allie, unbeknownst to knowing anything, has been following. So Allie, Josh is doing it to hide from the world, but still try to be a part of the world. So that's him trying to safely be a part of the world.
Hmm.
Um, and then Allie is like trying to separate from the world. All she sees is hell. And so she gets on there and she's like just doom scrolling and like has just kind of like fallen into being obsessed with this account.
Okay.
And um, so she doesn't really have time to date and just daydreams about being consumed by this masked guy who could worship the ground she walks in, break into her house, give her all those love and affections, We don't judge
Yeah.
our kinks. But
We listen and we don't
listen and
judge.
don't judge. I literally was talking about that today. So yeah, like she's like all about like, oh yeah, like he can break into my house, he can come do this, come do that, how we all talk on TikTok thinking that nothing matters, which I go into that. That's my hot take for today. Um, so after all she does, all she sees during the work shift, that's kind of what she wants to do, just kind of focus on her kink and, get her rocks off and go to bed.
Yeah.
Um, and Josh, he eventually puts the pieces together and figures out who she is and reads all the comments on all the posts over the course of the year and decides that he's gonna give her what she wants. So this goes right into my hot take for today. Guys,
Okay.
although it's fun, this is why you don't post comments on strangers' pages.
Yeah.
Like you don't go in and post about your kinks and about what you want on a complete stranger's page. Um,
Yeah. There's people out there who do it and, you know, eh, they have ways of doing it safely,
mhm.
but stranger danger is real. You
Yes.
don't know who's actually behind the screen, especially now that AI is getting really good. It's
Hmm.
still pretty easy to tell, but as it improves, it's only going to get harder and harder.
Yeah.
And so we didn't know before, and we really don't know now. So,
Right.
um, like, yeah, no, 100%. I definitely agree with your hot take.
Yeah. If you guys knew how many Dateline or 2020 episodes or podcasts, like I tell you, like I'm into this stuff, into like the crime podcast. I'm getting older, and I feel like every woman that gets older gets into this. Um, They usually start with something like this happened. Someone made a comment on Facebook, someone flirted over social media, or someone just was like, yeah, come do it, daddy. And then like daddy shows up and daddy kills you. Um,
Yeah.
does it always happen? No. But there's a reason why red flags exist and why you should listen to those red flags. So here's the thing. Lights Out doesn't glamorize the red flags. Yes, he does hack into her house. He does break into her house and film some videos and post it up on social media. He does give Allie what she says she wants. He does start a relationship with Allie wearing a mask, and Allie has no idea who he is. He knows the whole time. He knows that she's safe. Um, but she doesn't, and she keeps ignoring these red flags. And although it's great in a book, it's not a great thing to have in real life.
Yeah.
Um,
It's I don't know. There's just so much human trafficking and things going on, and the internet's just making it easier. So, yeah, great in a book. Again, loved Haunting Adeline. I'm sure that I'm gonna love Lights Out. I loved Butcher and Blackbird. Um, fun to read, not so fun in real life.
yeah, this isn't fantasy as an escape, which I would label Haunting Adeline as. Sometimes in that book, I really felt like it was a matter of, girl, your red flags are going off and you need to fucking run. Um, I really struggled with that book, and I knew we were going to talk about this, but I really struggled with Haunting Adeline for that reason. This guy like stalks her nonstop. Um, he's also always like threatening to kind of kill her. Get in line or you're gone. Get over this
Yeah.
or you're gone. Like it's a whole. At no point does she ever feel safe, and at no point does he ever tell her she's safe.
So. You haven't finished the
I
book.
haven't. I
And
haven't.
I will do an episode on Haunting Adeline in more detail. It does get to that point.
Hmm.
Um, but no. A good first chunk of the book is very like,
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah, I
what
think,
you were talking about. Very fear heavy, very,
yeah, and I think like her issue is that she's reading, I don't want to go into too much detail just in case somebody hasn't and you're going to go over the book, but she's reading a diary of her grandmother kind of going through this.
yeah,
And so she's, in my opinion, getting caught up with the fantasy and the sexiness of grandma going through all this, and then it's happening to her in real life. So she's kind of like getting a thrill out of it, like grandma
yeah,
did. But like, and we both know he's not really going to kill her or anything like that because we get his perspective. We know that he's into her as well. But it's just
she
that,
doesn't know that.
yeah, she doesn't know that. And for the little bit of watching it, or the first half of the book, I can say definitively, I'm not entirely sure that he didn't start off that way. If I'm not gonna have you, no one will kind of mentality. Josh doesn't do that. Now, Allie fucks up and makes him mad a few times, and he threatens to punish her, and he does punish her, but it was never death, and it was never really her ever in danger, and she actually knew that the punishment was never going to be physically being hit or abused or anything along those lines. It was
Yeah,
always in the bedroom, things are going to get a little rough.
it's kinky.
It's kinky. But I think that's the difference for me is that Allie always felt safe even when she didn't feel safe. Because he always had that mentality of working on that shadow daddy type of mentality where
Hmm.
I'm gonna make you feel unsafe, but I'm also going to make sure that you know that you're not in danger. Um,
Yeah,
and I think that's so important. Um, the characters have flaws that are real, but what I love about the book asks is, can someone be broken by the world and still be worthy of love without hurting the person who gives it? And so that is definitely something that both of them are going through is how do I give love and receive love without hurting someone in the process? And where can those lines
yeah,
go? Um, And it's challenging to a reader to distinguish between romantic tension and emotional danger. And I think that's the difference between these two books in particular. What is romantic tension versus emotional danger? Um, and I feel like if we compared our two female main characters in both of these books, from what I've read so far, is I think the lines are much more blurred with Haunting Adeline. Like you don't know if she's actually in danger or if there's just a lot of tension.
yeah. And it doesn't help that Z in Haunting Adeline is in a very dangerous line of work.
Yes.
Um, which I won't spoil right now. But his line of work, him associating with her in any way, shape, or form at all, automatically puts her in danger. And
Yes.
then he's there on top of that. And it's just a very Addie has no sense of self-preservation.
None.
So it's kind of nice to hear that that Allie does,
Hmm.
or at least like she's got a good sense on her like
Yeah,
predator alarm, I
right.
guess, you know?
And I think a lot of it boils down to Allie in the field that she works in. Like I think that's a thing. And if you've ever like really met someone that can do dark, evil things, or if you've never done it, there is a darkness in that person's eyes. Like you can there's something about a person. Like you can, if you're emotionally in tuned at all with your senses, like you can tell something's off about a person. And I think Allie being in the ER, she's seeing murders and having to go in and take care of them because, yeah, they got caught murdering someone, but they still need medical attention. And
Yeah.
so she's around bad, evil people a lot. So I think that's something that really helps out the situation and why the only reason why I think Allie would even put herself into this situation is because of the fact being that she can see the mask guy, and even though she's not certain if it's Josh up underneath or not, she knows that that person really would never harm her. Like, that's the thing is she's like, these should be red flags, but they're not red flags for some reason. I'm not getting those red sirens that go off the way that I do in other people. But
Mhm.
Addie, on the other hand, just they were always there, but she didn't care.
No. Now she is also the difference between Addie and Allie in terms of profession. Addie's an author,
Yes.
right? So some of this,
Mhm.
excuse me, some of this is already being romanticized in her own head before the
Yes.
diary.
Hmm.
So like I I don't know. There will be a list of trigger warnings when we go over Haunting Adeline, and I will probably add my own trigger warnings to it because
That's fair. Yeah.
it was a book that I had to like there were times where I had to stop and take breathers, and it doesn't seem, based off of what you've already said and from what I've seen online, it doesn't seem like Lights Out is going to carry that same heaviness. Like it's gonna be dark, right? But it's
Yeah.
not gonna be like, okay, I have to put this down for the night. Like that was
Yeah.
too
I think that
much.
was also like my issue. Now, I love a good book that gives me a panic attack. House of Leaves, I'm gonna eventually go over that with you. That book literally sent me in a spiral and I had a panic attack and it got thrown across the room and I had to go into my little let's figure out how to breathe again kind of moment. Um, but that book's supposed to invoke that emotion. It's artistically created for that, and I'll eventually go through that book too. Um, but I'm down for a book like that. I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is romanticizing rape, um, and stuff like that. So I will say, okay, here's my thing. And this is why I actually do really like this book. So here's hot take number two. This is my opinion. Um, I don't think anything's wrong with their intimate life. All right? I think breaking into someone's house and violating their personal space. Yes, that's the part where I have issues with. And he does a couple of that, but she's kind of into it, but whatever. Um, I think what they do in their intimate parts of their life when they decide to have a relationship, nothing's wrong with it. As long as you can handle it safely between a solid couple that communicates and trusts with each other, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that kink or that fantasy life that you have. Enjoy it.
Hmm.
Um, we don't kink shame here. We listen and we don't
And we
judge.
don't judge.
Exactly. Like we really don't. Like if you're into that kink, hell yeah, go for it. Just make sure that you have that establishment and that communication with a partner first. For God's sake, research, learn what you
Yeah,
do.
this isn't fucking 50 Shades of Grey, people.
Yeah, exactly. Educate yourself and your partner on what you're into. If you're into mass talk and you want to kind of do stuff that you read in Lights Out, the two of you should go on that educational journey yourself. And I know I'm gonna have people that are all like, oh my God, for God's sake. Like, that ruins the fun. And I have friends right now that are screaming that at that at the computer right now. Like that ruins all the fun. But when you're in a safe relationship with a partner and you've done your education and you know where those safe words are and where those lines are drawn and there's trust there, it is not going to ruin anything.
If anything, it's going to make it better because you
Exactly.
know that you're not going to be put in a position that you're uncomfortable with. So you don't have that underlying anxiety that's like, well, what if they do this? They're not going to because
Yeah,
you've already established that and you trust them to follow those boundaries.
absolutely. So I know it can be boring. I know it can ruin a fantasy, but at least you're not gonna die over it. Um, and
Consent is sexy.
exactly, consent is very, very sexy. Um, and I will say that despite everything that Josh does to her and all the kinky stuff that they do, he always asks first, like, are you cool with this? Are you good? He's always checking on her. And even before they fall in love with each other, they're always very emotionally intent on making sure the other person feels safe, but is still excited.
We love an emotionally secure king and queen. We
Absolutely.
love a communicative king and
Mhm.
queen. Um, and self-aware. So
Yes.
I'm definitely here for it.
Good, because that was my next question. Are you gonna read it?
I am gonna read Lights Out. I've been wanting to read it for a while. I think that one is slowly getting bumped up higher on the TBR pile.
Yeah.
I'm reading, what am I reading right now? Oh, A Soul for Revenge, and then next is Empire of the Damned, which is the second book in a series by Jay Kristoff.
Okay.
Um, but I do have to start preparing for our spooky season. And so I want to do Haunting Adeline for spooky season. I've already read it. Um, so I need to get Lights Out read by then so that way I can give more comparisons between
Yeah,
the
that would
two
be it would be
once
great
we
to
get there.
see. I'm sorry. ADHD, I'm so sorry. It would be great to see like how when you're covering that, like how you would feel if our takes are the same or if they're different.
Yeah.
Because I'm very rough on Haunting Ellen, and I am gonna finish it. I'm gonna finish it before you cover it. I'm gonna finish it before you cover it. That'll be I'm gonna finish it before I pick up another book. Um,
Hey, no pressure because I'm supposed to be convincing you to finish it. So,
that's a good point. Maybe
um,
like delay it until October. But I'm looking forward to it. I really
yeah. I'm actually really excited to do Haunting Adeline and especially have it. So I want to do that and then I want to read Lights Out and Caught Up, which I think is the
yeah,
second one.
second book. It's her cousin's book, I think. I think.
Yeah. So I wanna have those done and then because I'm gonna do Hunting Adeline too. So there's a
Okay.
sequel to Haunting Adeline. It's called Hunting Adeline. And so that episode I'll probably try to cover both of those books
Mhm.
just to keep everything nice and concise. And then she actually has a like novella for the
Okay.
cat and mouse series, which is what that's called.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm really curious to see how Hunting Adeline compares with Caught Up and Haunting with Lights Out once I
Yeah.
read that more.
Yeah, I'm really excited about Caught Up. I heard a lot of people are really into that one more than this one. And that's about bike talk. It's about bikers. So,
Yeah. That's my personal brand of
yeah, I do love some.
bullshittery.
Mhm. Um, I've done some art for some bike talkers, so that's fun.
That's amazing. I so a couple of summers ago, Blake was gonna do bike lessons with his buddy.
Mhm.
Um, and I was so into it. I was so ready for it. But then his buddy bailed because so they did the first class or the first two classes or something, and his friend We'll call him Steve to keep him anonymous. Um, Steve was so tiny and skinny and light that he could not keep the bike up.
Oh,
And he could not push the bike. He couldn't like because when you take those classes, you're on like a traditional like Harley Davidson like
yeah.
big bike.
Mhm.
Nope. He like crashed it basically and fell over while on the bike and so he never went back and Blake was like, "Well, I'm not doing this alone."
Um, Tom used to have a bike, and like I said, I missed that stage, and I keep trying to convince him to get another bike. So maybe you
I
guys
want a
can come
bike.
down and the boys can rent bikes or something.
Dude, I want a bike so bad. Sorry, mom and dad. I really want a motorcycle. I want a crotch rocket. I want something that's tiny and goes super fast.
Yeah.
Um, just for like joy rides. It's not even like I'd be using it to go fast, but I think it would be so much fun. And I think I would look great on top of a motorcycle,
You would look badass.
right?
Very sexy.
Yeah. It's just expensive. Um,
It really
so
is.
that's
Yeah.
like a post-wedding thing, but yeah, that's something that I definitely want to do at some point in my life is get my motorcycle license. Even if I don't own a motorcycle, just to say I've done it would
Yeah.
be fun, you know?
Yeah, of course.
But
Um,
yeah, I don't know.
well, hopefully if we ever get together, we'll be able to, I'll be the only one not on a bike, but
You can ride backpack. It's fine. I've heard being backpack is a lot of fun too.
no, I will not.
Veto. Hard no.
No, no. All right, so I guess that's really it. I didn't want to give the story away too much, but I will say the tagline is the couple that slays together stays together. So
Wait, I do have a question though.
okay.
Fred the cat.
Oh, I love him.
Okay, so he does exist.
He does. He it's you know what, it's such a cute, adorable addition. It's Allie's cat. And Josh actually has never been around animals ever because of his dad.
Hmm.
And just the absolute utter fear of turning into his dad is so dramatic and so intense and rightfully so. I mean,
Hmm.
what's the first sign of a serial killer is harming animals, right?
Yeah, something like that.
So Josh never allowed himself around an animal ever, ever. And then Fred
Oh.
the cat comes in, and honestly, let's be frank, this is a love story about Josh and Fred the cat.
Fred the cat. Fred the cat. Fred the cat.
He's
I'm here
so
for it.
cute, and it's perfect. It's sprinkled out throughout the whole entire, like, from start to finish. So like there's so much of him without it like being about him. So it's really cute.
I That's probably the real reason that I'm going to read this book now is for
Honestly,
Fred the cat.
I didn't even know that there was a cat in there. And so like I said, I walked into this completely and utterly blind. Um,
Hmm.
and so that happens a lot with neurodivergent people. What do we call it? The shit. I forget what it's called.
It's not object permanence.
No, it's not object permanence, but it's actually the opposite of that. It's where you hyperfixation.
Mm.
So you get a thought in your head and you hyperfixate on it until you're able to appease that dopamine, and get your serotonin off of it. And so, it's a hyperfixation, and I am very much a mood reader because of my neurodivergency. Um, so that's usually how I pick my books anyways. So cover looks good, tagline looked good, it was popular, let's read it. And so I had no idea about the cat.
Been there, done that. I definitely there's a reel that goes around on Instagram where it's this dude in the lights out mask, and he's just got a cat in his lap. He's like, POV, Josh showing Fred that Allie is safe at work. And they're just sitting in front of 13 like computer monitors basically with different
Pretty accurate.
fake camera images pulled
Yeah.
up. And it's just masked dudes sitting at a computer with a cat. And I was like, that if that's a thing, then that book's going on the shelf.
I guarantee you that is definitely something that could be an epilogue. 110%. Because yeah, that's
I'm
living rent free as an epilogue right there. Because that definitely would happen.
I am so excited for Fred the cat.
Yeah.
So when I read Butcher and Blackbird, I went in not knowing that there was a cat, Winston the cat.
Okay.
Um, and that was a fun surprise too. And Winston starts to pop up throughout the later part of the book. Um, so I'm a little sad that it's not a surprise. Thank you, Instagram and Bookstagram, for the
Yeah.
plethora of spoilers out there, but um and I guess I just spoiled it for Butcher and Blackbird for all the people who haven't read it yet, so apologies there. But
My rule is if a book has been out for over a year, you're not entitled to spoilers.
man,
Right.
and that's
You're just living
fair.
that life. Like, you gotta realize that if a movie has been out for over a year, if a book has been out for an over a year, if an album that's epic has been out for over a year and you haven't consumed it yet, you have zero right to complain about spoilers.
That is totally fair. I am very sensitive to spoilers because some of these books are coming out so fast
Hmm.
and there's not enough time to read them all.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
I keep adding things to my TBR, and we're not helping that cause in the slightest.
No.
And so by the time I actually get to the book, like, no, I can't complain about spoilers. But also, like, I know half the plot of the book already. And so it's frustrating. I had
Hey.
that issue with
Yeah.
Onyx Storm actually, because
Really?
people wasted no time when Onyx Storm came out about posting spoilers.
Yeah.
And
I
it
feel like,
sucked.
yeah, but see, okay, so I will say that, but I will also say that if you are the asshole that is posting a spoiler before a year hit mark hits, then yeah, you're the asshole. You don't have to ask yourself, am I the asshole? You are the asshole. If Onyx Storm came out a week ago and you're posting spoilers, man, fuck you. Like, what the hell?
Right.
Not everyone's considered,
I
you're out there to be the first.
I really like when content creators will have kind of like what we had with the trigger warnings, will have a screen before their content that says spoiler alert for and then whatever the book is. Because
Right.
then I know, okay, well, I haven't read this book, I can scroll past. But it's the people who don't do that that piss me off.
Yes.
Because then I get sucked in and I'm like, well, shit.
Hmm.
And yes, I could just scroll, but once you're 15 seconds into a reel and you don't fully realize what's going on until then, I've already, it's the sunken time fallacy at that point.
Oh my God, that happened to me with Crescent City.
Hmm.
The second book had been out for less than a week, and a friend of mine sent it to me. She had already finished the book and had sent it to me, and literally I hadn't even bought the book yet
Ugh,
because I'm not gonna do that first day hype. Um, just because I'm not gonna deal with the crowds. Please do first day hype on indie authors. But on mainstream authors, I'm just not gonna do it when it's like crazy people buying books. Um,
yeah,
but there was no warning at all in the TikTok video at all. And then the last 10 seconds spoiled the whole book. And I
bro.
literally like messaged her. I was like, "Did you just ruin the book for me?" And she was like, "You haven't read it yet?" And I was like, "It's been 3 days. Like, of course I've not had a chance to read it. Three
Yeah.
days." And she was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I just ruined the whole book for you." And I was like, "Yeah, kind of the asshole." Like,
Jesus.
like, come on.
Like,
Like,
bro, come
just
on.
because you stayed up all night and consumed the book does not mean that I have that luxury. Like,
Right.
when I like a book, I will go slow and consume it. Because if I'm liking it, I want to enjoy it.
Oh, I eat it.
Honestly, I said that and I was like, no, I don't. Like sometimes I will just like devour the shit out of it. But I guess it just depends on what kind of ticks you're tickling.
Yeah, I just read The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig.
Mhm.
And oh my God, I'm probably gonna move that one up the review list
Okay.
actually to
Good
talk about
because just
here.
you sent me that text and now I'm just like, oh my God, like come
Oh
on.
my God. It was Rachel Gillig is probably one of my favorite authors right now. She did the Shepherd King duology,
Hmm.
which was really, really good. And then The Night and the Moth is actually her third book, if I'm remembering correctly. And she started writing it when she had long COVID.
Oh,
And like she really struggled with it and she really struggled with not feeling like it would be good. Um, it took me a little while to get into it because we had some traveling with the 4th of July and everything.
yeah.
And I'd probably gotten about 20 pages into it. And then I really sat down, I think it was Thursday, and I read it in 24 hours.
Wow.
Um, so I'm really excited to share that one. But yeah, no, when I like a book, I just it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. I can feel that. I can definitely consume that for sure. Um, so yeah. I'm glad you're gonna read it. Um, sorry.
No, you're good. We've been yapping for a while. We got totally off track.
We did. But it's okay. I'm really glad that you're gonna read it. I know it was definitely something we've been joking about like reading it together and then I just completely abandoned you and just took
That's
off.
fine.
Um, but it's been really fun to actually because Tom's playing Death Stranding.
Hmm.
So I don't know if you guys play Death Stranding or not, but it has the best music. It's got some of my favorite artists in it. I know you're more into heavy metal, but um so like Low Roar is like one of my favorite artists, and he does a lot of work for them.
I've
So
never heard of him.
then it's like methodical kind of music. It's like Sleep Tokens, like all their like chill stuff.
Oh, I do love Sleep
I
Token.
love Sleep Token. I absolutely love them. They're like
Delicious.
oh, yummy, yummy. Um,
Yeah.
so I absolutely love Sleep Token, but like if you listen to all just their chill music, that would be like if you like that, you would like this band. But it's nice because
Yeah.
it's just in the background. There's not a lot of talking, and so like I had a nice playlist to listen to while I read my book.
That sounds amazing.
Hey, it's way better than Persona. Oh my God, I literally told him he had to stop playing Persona. Like I'm
Blake
gonna
loves
murder you.
Persona.
Ah!
Blake loves Persona. Well, that might be a bit of an exaggeration, but I know that
It's
he's
a
played
fun
Persona.
game. It's a fun game. The problem is the music is addictive and stays in your head. Stays in your head forever. I would go to work and I would sing it, and the kids would be like, "Oh, are you playing Persona?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not fucking playing with Persona. I'm over it."
Yeah,
So many hours.
so I really like to watch Blake play video games, but Persona freaked me out because I think that's the one with the creepy, pervy teacher.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
I had major issues with that too. I was just like, I cannot believe you're like, and because it gives you like the best buffer, like Tom had to go down that route to get the best buffers. And I'm like, you are married to a fucking teacher. Like, how are you okay with this? This is not okay. And he was like, I'm sorry, babe. She's just giving me a really good buffer. Close your eyes. And I'm like, ugh.
yeah. It was that wasn't one that I really watched through. Um, I don't know, but and this I know we keep trying to sign off, so this will be the last thing that I say for the night. Um, there's this new song. I don't know if you listen to K-pop or not. That's something that I've recently gotten into. Um, but there's this one song that you should definitely listen to. It just came out. It's called In Your Fantasy by At Ease.
Okay, send it to me.
It's yeah, it's so book talk coded. It's like one of my friends sent it to me and I was like, okay, let me listen to this. And I was on my lunch break at work sitting at my desk
Mhm.
and I pull it up and I get about 30 seconds in. I'm like, nope, this is not work appropriate. We gotta turn this shit off. Um, it's so book talk coded.
Okay.
I think you'll, at a minimum, enjoy the music video.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, it's for me, it's like kind of up there with Sleep Token.
Nice. Okay, well then it does not take a lot to convince me. All it takes is sleep token. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
Well, the sounds are very different. Let me be very clear about that. Just
Yeah.
in the way that like it's like dark and sultry and like
That's
it's
honestly
that.
what I like the most. Like, God, we could really have a whole podcast. Maybe this should be one of our discords, is talking about music.
I'm here for it. I could sit and talk about music all day.
I could too. I could do. And then we could have friends tell us that we don't know anything.
Yeah. Well, then if we're gonna do that, we should save the rest of the music chat
Yes.
for a live stream. We'll probably be announcing our first one of those soon.
Yes.
Hopefully, we haven't set a date for it, but we're trying to get that up and running.
Yeah, we'll definitely.
Um, so
Well,
yeah.
this has been a lot of fun. Thanks for going on our journey with us. Please remember to like and subscribe if you like us. Comment. Definitely subscribe for those Spotify's and that YouTube because they give you an immediate notification when we release on Fridays. So,
Yep. And then you can follow us on Instagram. We're kind of on TikTok when I can remember to post there. And you can subscribe to us, like Peyton said, on YouTube.
mhm.
We're here. Drop us a comment. We'll reply to DMs. You know, just come hang out with us.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I've had a couple of people that have listened to the podcast that are going crazy for the lights out. They know that I actually just got a text message going, "Aren't you recording lights out tonight?" So, hi Henley, I love you. But they're wanting to come on and chat with us one night. So I think it'd be fun to like start having guests. And if you are an author and you want us to cover one of your books, definitely hit us up in the DMs. Because we would love to have authors come on and talk about their books.
Yeah, absolutely. Come convince us to read your books. Oh,
Absolutely.
that sprite's going to explode later. On that note, it's not a champagne bottle, but come come convince us to read your books. We will have questions for you,
Yeah.
and I hope you have answers for us because I'm going to try to surprise you with some questions.
Nice. All
All
right.
right.
Well, you guys have a good night and we'll see you later.
Bye. Thanks for listening.
What the fuck were we thinking?
so mad risky. Yeah, that feeling. Yeah, that feeling that it was so mad risky. To let me down.
What the fuck were we thinking?